Hey everybody. We're here doing Run the Jewels, a rundown of the Grammys from last night, 2015, 57th annual. A lot of a lot of things to talk about, a lot of cool things. A large amount of performances. Seems like less and less categories and winners being announced on air. Um, but today we have Emily with us to discuss the Grammys because Emily and I are, as much as we consume sports, we equally, almost just as equally, consume what's going on in music and lots of different types of music. So it's very important to us. So the Grammys are a highlight of the year for us. So Em, say hi.
What's up?
So um, just give me your overall impression of last night, juxtaposed against other years, or how you felt it was organized, um, even in terms of TV production, since you're in that world as well. So, how did you feel about the whole thing last night?
I liked it. I mean, I thought I really was surprised at the amount of performances. I mean, I'm trying to remember the last time I sat and watched the Grammy straight and like paid attention. I think a lot of times it was on, but I was in college and it was in the background, so people were doing other things, and I was just kind of poking in and out. But I thought it was really, it was just, it was a little bit strange. I think it kind of, it did represent to me a down year in music. I mean, not that, I mean, people that did well, but I thought the star power wasn't really there the way it usually is. And I mean, and it's funny, but even though Beyonce dropped a record in this cycle, so it's surprising that I'm saying that, but she didn't get the recognition that you probably thought she was going to. So I thought that was strange. That being said, I do love Sam Smith, and I thought he did a great job. And I think in the way that he was, I mean, Adele was the Grammy darling a couple years ago. He's the same thing. So it makes sense. That's where it came out. I don't know, some of the performances were interesting, and like since I've slept on it, some of them are growing on me. But overall, I thought it was a little bit. It was just for a 3.5 hour show to have that slow of a pace was a little much for a viewer. As and the guy who, I mean, it's funny they show the guy who produces it every year, and I'm a little bit surprised that that guy is doing it that long because that was not a really well put together in terms of engaging an audience that I've seen that it could have been done. I think with the people and the songs that they could have done.
Yeah, I'm surprised that dude has a pulse. When we shot to him, I was like, that's this dude is. No wonder why we're having problems with the Grammys. Not that he doesn't do a good job. I'm sure he does a very good job, and there's a lot of stuff that he does that we won't even ever know about. But I feel as if it's a music show. It should be somebody who's maybe more contemporary or a lot younger, or just kind of with the program a little bit more.
That's television. You get behind everything that I've seen. The big producers in sports are wicked old guys too. It's just kind of the thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
But certainly, music I think should try to have be a little more cutting edge than most.
right. You'd think out of let's say some of the three majors between film, music, and sports should be music that is the youngest amongst his peers. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the last night I liked last night. I I generally like the whole past year in music. I do think we saw like a lot of cool people get recognition who are could have a lot of potential to be something more. Sam Smith, obviously. Ed Sheeran, obviously. Ed Sheeran's been around for a minute anyway, just helping other established artists. But I really like Hoser. I think that guy and what he's doing could take hold a little bit more. I think Take Me to Church was probably my favorite record of the Grammy records all year.
Did I miss the cycle?
Did it miss the cycle? No, it was nominated.
It was. It
Yeah.
was not even for record of the year. I feel like it came on so late. Sorry that.
Good Celtics plug.
Yeah. Sorry. So my year. Um. I feel like it came on so late in the year. I mean, I hadn't. I mean, truth be told, I hadn't heard of that song until Matt McAndrew did it in the voice, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a nice song, and then I still kind of like his rendition better because I just like his voice better than Hozier. But I mean,
Do
good
you?
that kind of song can take off because that means we're not a terribly like single-minded
Yeah.
audience. But
Yeah. I did like that aspect too. It felt as if a lot of stuff was getting recognition that wasn't one-dimensional or kind of like the same old hap that we see all the time, and that's why it's getting a lot of play. So um, I like that. I do think that we didn't see a lot of the big names that we really used to, besides like Pharrell. Um, like the Beyonce thing not being as included um, was a little surprising, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about it, but I'm not one of these beehive crazy people who think
I'm not
Beyonce.
either. Though I did love that album, and then I kind of rediscovered her that way. But I just thought it was weird they buried her so late in the show, and then not only to bury her, but bury her and have her do a gospel hymn. Like, I mean, I'm sure it was important to her, but like, uh, just what? Like, she looked so like even when she won Best R&B, she looked really like subdued. Like I was just I think maybe which we'll touch on this later. I think maybe she was following Jay's lead that I think Jay wants to kind of have a perception about what this award is and what this show is right now and what the Grammys represent. And I think he's not happy about it. So maybe she's following Jay's lead.
Yeah, I mean, and if they're leading the charge on that,
It's over.
largely, yeah, yeah, that's going to be a big problem. We'll talk about the possible development of hip hop and R&B sort of distancing themselves from the Grammys a little bit later. Um, but so, all right, let's talk about obviously the big winner being Sam Smith. I think he just like took down everything he was nominated for, pretty much. He
Like
won.
you won 4 of 6
Yeah, I know he won. He at least the big ones for him. He won
records, song,
record,
new artist.
song, best new artist. Obviously not album of the year because that went to Beck. But Sam Smith. So I really like Sam Smith. I think he's the type of talent that will stick around for a while. Like you mentioned earlier off the pod, and what people have been saying, he feels like the male version of Adele. Um, a sort of timeless, almost opera-like
Yeah.
vocal style that is going to be something that stays around for a while. At least I would guess. You never know with these sort of things. But if I had to put money down, I would say Sam Smith is not going anywhere. But um, and the Lonely Hour was great. I liked a few of those tracks off the album. What did you think about Sam Smith taking most everything down?
I think he deserved it. I mean, though I feel like Ed Sheeran got a little bit snubbed. He had a great record too, but I think maybe they were too similar, so that was kind of the problem. Though obviously Sheeran's got a much more guitar vibe versus Sam Smith has more keys, but it is a great record top to bottom, and I think he deserved it, especially certainly best new artist. I didn't think anyone really held a candle to him. Songs, that was just an awesome. I mean, actually, Stay With Me is fine. It's a good record, but I mean, it's a good song. But I think that there are much better songs on that record, which is true usually. The singles aren't usually what, but I highly recommend people going through the rest of that album and just the different types of like. It's a little bit depressing that the sad songs can do so well, but there's so many different types of sadness he hits, and it's like a lot of different emotions that you get out of that. And every song really is a distinct, different one. You don't feel the same thing each song. They all mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's awesome. I really loved it.
See, I was watching the show thinking like "Stay With Me" is great. It's an awesome track, but it I don't think it's better than "Not the Only One" to me.
It's not.
Yeah,
Not the only one's great, and I think there are better ones on there. Um, my favorite song on the song is called "Make It to Me." It's the very last song on the record, and like eh, the opening line is one of my favorite lyrics of that I've heard in a really long time. It's really kind of
but what is it?
it's he says my mind runs away to you, and I'm trying to remember what the second part is. Fuck, I forgot. But it's like it's just like it's one of those things like you open a song and it's just like when you're in love with somebody and you just like you can't help but your mind starts to wander and
Yeah,
like, my mind always runs away to you and it's just like it's my mind always runs away to you with a thought I hope you'll see. I think it is.
yeah, I'm
So
seeing
he's
it
saying
now too.
like I hope I get to tell you that I care about you the way I know I do.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's really sometimes with music, and obviously you and I love hip hop a lot. hip hop can be so cryptic that it's hard to really relate to the lyrics truly. I actually can really enjoy somebody who just flat out says, "This hurts," or "I really love you," or all those things. It makes the song much easier for me to run with. Hip hop, it's fun because we have to break through those codes, but sometimes it's nice to just have a flat out, "This is a sad song, and I know what the sad words are," and that's it.
Right. No, I think we're both in the same boat in that I really love hip hop for a tremendous number of reasons, maybe more than I should, as my friends will attest to. But with something like Sam Smith and those types of vocals or that type of music, it's just poetry,
Yeah.
and the lyrics are all just agonized over for a long time, or there's sometimes they just come to a person who just has a certain level of artistry that can't be ignored. So yeah, that's that type of stuff, which is why hip hop and R&B sort of dominate my iPod, which I don't have anymore, my iPhone music section. But there's also I have a ton of stuff like Sam Smith records and Holzier records and even like some of the older stuff like Stained and Seether and a lot of things I have that are all just like great written lyricism that is really poetry before anything else, and all people respond to that once they're paying attention. So he does a really good job of that, and Not the Only One was the one I connected to the most, just because I understood his message on like another fundamental level, and I was kind of blown away when I heard the record. I couldn't believe that somebody had articulated that feeling into a smash single like that. So Sam Smith, he's no joke. He deserved all that praise last night. And the Ed Sheeran thing is weird because I think if Sam Smith didn't exist, that would have been Ed Sheeran's night.
Yeah,
He would
for
have
sure.
gotten a lot of play, a lot of accolades, because he's also tremendous as well. But because Sam Smith is like a monster talent, Ed Sheeran kind of got placed into the shadows a little bit. But that's how that goes.
Mm.
Um,
Has Ed Sheeran won anything ever? I'm trying to think. His Plus album was awesome too, but that was kind of that caught on like 2 years after it came out, kind of thing.
so if we're going to talk about Ed Sheeran, let's talk about his performance real quick. Because I couldn't believe it when he was actually up there because I was watching it and I think I tweeted it too, like because I know Ed Sheeran, I know his stuff, but I haven't really like watched him perform that much. I've listened to his music, I haven't seen him get up there and do what he does on the stage. And I was thinking like this guy is like our British version of John Mayer. Is that what we're doing here? Like, not, and that's a good thing. Like John Mayer's good at what he does. He puts out music and everybody pays attention. Um, but not by look or even sound of voice. It's just kind of like the style of perf- not performing. His own style of music feels a lot like John Mayer's,
Mm.
which there's a lot of success that comes with that. And then I was pissed because John Mayer was actually up there. I was like, oh, there goes my awesome take because John Mayer is now up there. I didn't even realize it until they cut to him doing the backup guitar. But what do you feel
The
about?
camera angle was weird though. When they first showed you John Mayer, it was like this weird like diagonal look that you saw them like this way, and I was like, oh, it's John Mayer, and I freaking love John Mayer. I tweeted last night. I was like, Battle Studies is still one of my favorite albums, non hip hop related. I think for whatever reason, that thing was great for me my senior year of high school, and I loved it. So yeah, John Mayer is awesome. I think I'm a little surprised. I mean, obviously not surprised because obviously but John Mayer had the ability to outshine Sheeran there because his guitar skills are so fucking awesome,
Yeah,
and you forget sometimes. So for having to just go out there and rip guitar again, and he's better than Sheeran. So it's just like, well, it was a cool performance. I think that song is taking off now, and everyone's saying that's gonna be the wedding song of 2015, probably. But
Okay.
I thought that had a cool vibe. That whole performance had a cool like jam session vibe to it, while still being a love song. So I thought it was kind of interesting that you were like watching John Mayer jam out, but at the same time the lyrics mean something. So I thought it was one of the top. That was one of the better performances of the night, I thought.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Either that or 4 or 5 seconds, but 4 or 5 seconds could have been far better. I'm not into Kanye's like influence on that song.
Mm.
Um, but with the Ed Sheeran John Mayer thing, like I don't want to talk too much about John Mayer because this is Ed Sheeran's time, but yeah, John Mayer his guitar skills are filthy,
Oh yeah.
like ridiculous ability. I really like watching him kind of like back up other artists because I remember I saw him do that the first time on Saturday Night Live playing the guitar riffs for Frank Ocean on Pyramids. And
Mm.
Pyramids is one of my favorite tracks of that whole year.
Mm.
Um, and I remember uh, all of a sudden John Mayer's doing the guitar solo riff and just kind of going off on it a little bit, and Frank just goes off to the side and like plays pinball on the set of the stage that they had created on SNL, and I think it's cool that John Mayer will kind of have the lack of egotism to be like, yeah, I'll be like your backup guitar just because I like what you do and I want to be a part of the performance or just a part of the greatness of the music. So I don't know if that's his motivation, but that's what it feels like to me. I know there's people who hate John Mayer.
I
Um,
don't get those people.
yeah,
Relax. Yeah, he's whatever. Broken Tails was hard, and Katy Perry's hard, and Jennifer Aniston's, and hey, good for you, bro. You've crushed that many awesome girls. But yeah, no, I think it's awesome that he just enjoys. I think he just straight up enjoys playing guitar. So he's just like, oh yeah, you want me in your thing? Sweet, I'll come up and play.
yeah,
And like,
and
there's no selfishness to it. I think he really just doesn't give a shit and just wants to go play. He's like the true like, he's that bro just likes to jam out, and he just gets to do it on world stages.
yeah, and I like that the purity of that. He just wants to be up there and play.
Mhm.
And just because he really loves it and loves the music, doesn't give a shit about the fame. I don't feel like he cares about being famous or getting Grammy camera time or anything like that. I think he just genuinely loves to play and loves the music. So I'm into John Mayer. I'm not as much into like his voice and the music that much, but if he was my guitar guy in my band, I'd be over the moon. Um, but I can appreciate the artistry of what he does. Um, Okay, let's flip the script a little bit. How about a young Julian Edelman and Malcolm Butler
Well,
just taking the Grammys by storm last night?
in my brain, I was like, have we ever seen this before? And then I thought about it, and I saw those pictures came up of Bob Kraft over the weekend. I was like, oh, funny, Bob Kraft's at the Grammys, cool. Not knowing that Edelman and Butler will be there. But then I thought about it for a second. Do you know why they were there? Makes
Um,
sense for them to be there than anybody else, really.
no.
CBS show, the CBS show, and Sean McManus and
Yeah.
like the head of CBS and Bob Kraft are boys. So I'm sure he was like, oh yeah, you guys can come and do something funny. So that's what he did. It's just fucking, just example number 177, why Boston rules the world in sports and life. And
Yeah.
we do.
I liked it, but I was almost like, oh, another reason to give people to hate us in the
Yeah,
past.
whatever. I'm over it. Edelman looks beautiful, so that's fine with me. And
Yeah, he had to shave that lumberjack thing
fine,
down.
dude. Oh,
Yeah.
and good for Malcolm Butler. Like, that kid deserves every ounce of airtime he can get. That kid, poor thing. That kid was nowhere, and now he's everywhere. He deserves it.
Um, Yeah, did he mess up his lines in the beginning? I think he might have.
No, I think Edelman did. I think Edelman was like
Oh,
improvising
really?
or something. Well, first of all, the whole thing started poorly when Josh Duhamel tripped up the stairs. Secondly, um, I couldn't really hear who was saying what, but somebody said something, and Duhamel was like, "Okay," and then just like kept going. So somebody said something wrong. Whether
Somebody
maybe
fucked
it
up.
was Edelman saying Malcolm's line or what, but it was
I
fun.
don't know. Edelman should know better. He's in the Entourage movie doing a beer funnel with Gronk, so
Oh,
he should
wow.
be a seasoned vet at doing lines and speaking. But um,
That's
I
recorded.
thought it was wicked funny that Edelman said uh, Dumel kind of looked like Tom, so it was cool. Like he could stand up there with him. He kind of does. Like
Yeah.
if we ever make a Tom Brady movie, somebody needs to call like Josh Dumel because he's pretty close to it, as far as you could find in Hollywood. But yeah, I thought it was cool. They presented Best Rock Album, um, and it went to somebody not the Black Keys. So I was like, fuck it, I
Beck.
don't care.
Went to Beck.
Oh yeah, it went to Beck. That's right. So
I know, I looked at the thing and I said, oh, Black Keys, they should win. And then they didn't win. I was pissed, so I got over it.
yeah. Best Rock Song I saw went to Paramore for
Ain't it fun?
Ain't It Fun. Yeah, Ain't It Fun.
Love them.
Paramore's great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They've been great for a while. I don't much enjoy Ain't It Fun because it feels too like
Yeah, it's too
pop
poppy.
rocky.
Yeah.
But they've had other tracks that I've been very.
I know,
fond of.
I stumbled upon them because I used to Spotify I worked on. I was like, oh, I'll go back and listen to them. And I remember finding like old songs that I used to love from them. I'm like, oh my god, I used to have this on my iPod.
Yeah, I don't know why, but Decode, the Twilight song. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me that song all day long. I don't know why,
That's
but I will run that into the ground for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I'm also somebody who like really likes Christina Perri too.
yeah.
But just because I think those women are just phenomenal vocal talents. But Paramore's dope. But they didn't get highlighted. Like a lot of people didn't get highlighted. We can talk about this for a second. Eminem does not get highlighted for winning the Rap Album Award for Marshall Mathers LP2. Kendrick did not get highlighted for winning Song of the Year with I.
I kind of can't. No offense. And
Or
I know
Rap Song of the Year. Sorry.
I know he's your god, but
Praise Kendrick.
I'm all for I just am a little bit like, that was Song of the Year? Rap Song of the Year? I mean, that's our Song of the Year for all intents and purposes. That was our Song of the Year? I mean, I get it. Fuck the Grammys, man. Like, the Grammys are, like, worse than the Academy.
They are. They are.
They're like, every year you're in for some kind of random nomination or, like, random winner or, like, they pick something that's, like, you know, it's one of those things that they sit around a table and go, okay, so all these songs are awesome. So what is like the one that nobody will think we'll pick? That one. That's the one we'll pick. And like obviously that doesn't necessarily in the case of but I is just not like, that's not really a rap song. It is, but it's just a little bit different. So that's why. And also I think it's a big F you to Kendrick being like, okay, we like this song, this kind of song of yours, not your whole fucking amazing album.
No, your opus. Yeah. The thing with I is I feel like it's a great song. It's definitely tremendous, but it's a safe Grammy pick for the Grammy people to choose because it's got a good message. It's got like the Isley Brothers sample, which is really smart, and it's easy for them to pick. It's easy for them to pick that track than like a Rick Ross track. Not that I think a Rick Ross track earned it, but
All the other songs. Let me look that up.
oh, I don't know. That'd be interesting to go check. Look for that while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, Kendrick, still waiting on that album. Not sure what's going on, but I like I. It took me some getting used to because it is not Good Kid, Mad City. It's not in that vein, but you know, you don't want to be. I'm not one of those people who like doesn't grow with the artist because obviously the artist is going to do new things and continue to push themselves and talk about different topics. You can't be one of those people who are like, oh, if it doesn't sound like swimming pools, I'm out. Like, that's not going to work. So, but Grammys didn't highlight it. Like they didn't highlight rap album. They highlighted the R&B collaboration award that Drunken Love won for Jay and Beyonce, but probably because they're fucking sitting front row.
Right.
But I don't know. I wish.
There you go. Ready? Best rap songs. What a bad list. Oh wow. Oh, this also speaks to it.
Is it
We'll
Iggy?
talk about hip-hop. Best rap songs, Anaconda, Nicki. Bound 2. I'm confused why Bound 2 is in there, but it is. We Dem Boys, and 0 to 100.
Right. Yeah.
So, wait, Nicki was there, but that was because Nicki was introducing. Drake wasn't there either.
Drake, yeah, because that's probably the only thing he was nominated for. And 0 to 100 is just a download. He didn't even like release that. He just
Yeah, that's what tells you everything you know about
he just let it go.
Drake right now. God. Yeah, just that's a silly list of rap songs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anaconda does not belong there.
No.
We Dem Boys, probably not. It's catchy as hell, but
Yeah.
Grammy nominated. Let's relax.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I'm sure it would take us 5 minutes to come up with better songs of the year than that, but
That's offensive to our knowledge. 5 minutes? Dude, you and I could rattle off 5 right now. I would give them I Should Stay There. Actually, 0 to 100 is a great song. I think it should stay there, actually. But
yeah,
certainly, like, I throw My Boy Childish in there. 3005 is a sick song.
that's fine. I don't hate that.
What else would I learn there? Something Jeezy did this year, like the one with Jay-Z, what the fuck's the name of it? I forget, but that's an
Jay-Z?
awesome song.
What are you
That's,
talking about? Far Alone?
huh?
You talking about Far Alone?
No, I'm not
Talking about
saying,
G-Eazy?
no, I'm saying the wrong person. Who am I saying?
Oh.
The song with Jay-Z and somebody came out over the summer. Seen It All, is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jeezy. Yeah.
That should have been in there. I thought that was an awesome song.
See, no, it was great. Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Jeezy doesn't get enough play. He put out a monster effort on his album that came out in September.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Holy Ghost was on that record too.
Right, yeah.
I like that. Not just because Kendrick was on it. I like the song too. But yeah, I don't know. We should probably get off hip hop because we'll get after it too much.
Sure.
But okay. And let's take a hard left turn to the opposite. Disclaimer: I apologize for anybody who is genuinely enthusiastic about this genre of music. I just don't understand, and I don't think my sister does either. Miranda Lambert did that performance of Red Little Wagon. I don't know, remember what it's called. Don't hate me for anybody who is really obsessed with that song, but I honestly don't get it. I don't get country music. I just don't understand it. I can see how other people love it. For me and my own personality, it does not jive, so I can never get into it. I've tried. I've had many friends try to introduce me to different variations of it or different acts who kind of toe the line of rock and country to kind of allow me to have, a little bit of a transition into it, but I don't understand how you watch Miranda Lambert and you're like stoked about it, or you think it's like, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too like anything to insult.
Oh, you're gonna hold back because I'm not going to.
You can go. I'm hosting the show, so you can do it. You can say whatever you want.
Just like Jesus Christ. In order for you to be country music, your voice has to make that god awful sound, and you have to sound like you're like that southern twang bullshit. I can't. It's like it's just not. And people who say, as people who are from a beach town, people who say like that's the ultimate beach music, I want to like slap in the face because it's not. It's just not. Like there are much better beach sounds than that. And country music. There's a reason why they have their own award show. So like, get the fuck off mine because I can't I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, you all can go in your little corner and have a great time in Nashville. Enjoy it. Like, I get it. Some people can't understand the music that you and I like, but Lord in heaven, it's just like, it makes my ears bleed. It makes my ears bleed. And, I mean, we both love The Voice, love Blake Shelton. Think he's hilarious.
Love The Voice.
Can't get into anything he sings. Can't get into anything his wife sings. Eric Church, the people who go to Country Fest every year, don't get you.
Dierks Bentley, like, who are these people? I don't even get it.
I don't know. They all have these weird names and sing about their pickup trucks and their PBRs and just, God, go home. Can't have it.
Yeah. And it's really tough because people will come back at us and say, all your people talk about are getting money and, fast cars, awesome clubs, beautiful women, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I feel as if
Take
there's,
a little more effort to put a hip hop song together. You gotta put sounds and tunes and whatever. But this is just like you're slamming on your bass and you're like singing the same thing over and over again. God.
yeah. Somebody,
I've got there's an occasional country song I can bob my head with, but like an occasional, like we're talking like I maybe like four my whole life.
Nikki Knobs, who
Oh
was
God.
on the pod, used to wear Wagon Wheel Out, the Darius
Oh yeah.
Rucker version, and that one is actually enjoyable. I don't mind.
Wagon Wheel, yes. Wagon Wheel is one of the few exceptions.
Yeah,
Every
but
now
I
after.
don't know. I feel as if Darius Rucker is kind of an anomaly. He's not entirely country. He's not like the poster child for that music genre. So I think he might be an outlier. But country music, man, I it's one of the biggest mysteries of my life how that gets so much play, and how we get so ostracized and castrated for not liking it, especially being from Cape Cod. I can't tell you how many times I've heard like, "How are you from Cape Cod and you don't like country music?" Or is it because
Yeah, I don't know when that became
Massachusetts?
a synonymous thing.
Yeah, because it's Massachusetts, not
No.
Knoxville, Tennessee. What are we talking about? I don't understand. Don't come to me with that shit.
Because it's beach music. Like, no. Beach
Yeah,
music is like lime and like the reggae shit. Like, that's beach music. Like, none of this.
Scotty Buds. We went to his show.
Yeah, Kelly Buds, man. We were there in physical form anyway.
Oh yeah.
Um,
rough, rough night. Rough night for the Run the Julz fam. Um, yeesh. Anyway, country music. Somebody can. I'm taking all suggestions for explanations, but
yeah, come
I'm
on the
not.
pod and convince us because we don't believe you.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to have. We'll have to have a music panel discussion. We'll have a country music guest to advocate for it, but that's another time. All right. How about let's see. How about the whole Pharrell thing? Um, and this will kind of like we talked about in the intro before we broadcasted. It'll kind of we can roll it into Sia, but Pharrell. I love Pharrell. He's awesome. Watching him on The Voice this past season made me realize even more how much of a musical genius he is. His wealth of knowledge is like unprecedented. Um, and but his fashion sense is a bit suspect.
Let's
I'm
just get
talking.
silly at this point.
I'm talking about his decision to go with shorts in the suit combo, and his style of Grand Budapest Hotel performance of Happy. It seems like we're getting a little silly here, and I'm not happy with this whole kind of movement of proclamation of like weird abstract things and saying like that's art, and if you don't get it, you don't get art. No, that's not art. That's just like being silly or out there or that's
Well, I
just
think the
his
point,
style.
right. I mean, I think the point of art is that art is art. It's to everyone's interpretation. So like, if that's your art, bud, like you like to do this way, and people can either like it or they don't. You don't get to say like if you don't get it, then you're wrong. Like, no, I think they just have a different definition of art than you. In the same way that like whatever Kanye does his realist stuff, and people don't get it, and the whole Bound 2 video, and people like my friend who's an art history major, she's like, it's actually what he did is actually a form of art. It's like a type of art, but nobody understands it, so it's just kind of gets lost in translation. But yeah, for real, like Bud. I mean, I always think he's a much better producer than he is solo act. So when you watch him like perform a song, it's not as good. I mean, he's good, but I think obviously I'd much rather him be producing or going back to being an ERD.
Thank you. I would much rather him just go back to being NERD with the other two guys because Rockstar and Lap Dance. Like those are fire jams. Like
Yeah.
that stuff. I couldn't consume enough of it. I wish they would go back to that. I think NERD did reassemble to put out a track for the new SpongeBob movie,
No, of course they did.
but
What's this deal with these animated flicks? Like Bud. I don't like you're singing the song. This song was it from Despicable Me or was this what this was from?
something. Does he have kids?
He must.
He
Yes,
might.
yes. I heard Gwen say something earlier that he does have kids.
Yeah. I
He's
think
named Rocky.
this named who?
Rocky.
Oh, interesting. Is he a big Sly fan? Whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, then that's probably the trap that he's sort of fallen into, and it's a trap only if you see it this way. But a lot of artists or a lot of actors or a lot of musicians, they become dads or moms or whatever, and they just kind of start to gravitate towards making things their kids would enjoy.
Mhm.
So then they become like crazy popular with that. Like case in point, who's done this masterfully and still makes a ton of money doing it is Adam Sandler. He basically rolls out these PG movies or just barely PG-13 for kids, and I remember I was listening to Chris Rock do an interview one time, and he was talking about Sandler's films and his films that he's been in, and his kids will have like no idea like some of the bigger things that Rock has been in, but they know grown-ups. Like grown-ups is their shit. Like they're playing it, they're watching it at every sleepover. So I think that might have happened a little bit with Pharrell. It's all this positive, upbeat stuff that your kids can definitely listen to. So I don't know, but I like him still. He's a great producer. So
And his outfits are just, funny.
yeah, I don't know why we have to do all that, but you gotta make a spectacle out of it.
Musically, Patrick, I liked the rendition of Happy with that darker tone. I actually liked it better.
Yeah.
Which further impeaches the point that he reproduced his own song and I liked it better. So.
Right. So that just speaks to his talent as a producer. I didn't like the whole melodramatic like intro part of it.
Yeah, I actually understand that.
I could do without that, but yeah, I mean, he's great, and but also the other flip side of this coin is Sia.
Awesome. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, you can go ahead with Sia for a quick second.
So, I wasn't sure initially, and then I slept on it, and I woke up this morning, and I was like going through my feeds, and I was like, oh my god, like I think I need to watch this again. Like I think it was actually really cool, and I just didn't get it. First of all, shout out to Pete, who's the other side of our P's that's not here. His Dance Moms girl, I didn't realize that was her in the video. I didn't know that whole story. Oh my god. So she was great. Obviously, she's just talented herself, and then I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, God, people are saying on Twitter like, oh, it's like Kristen Wiig. And I was like, and truth be told, I know very little about Sia. I didn't realize her whole, like, I don't want to be seen business.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't realize that, like, Sia was a dead ringer for fucking Kristen Wiig. And then like, I look at it and like, oh my god, what's Kristen Wiig? Further proving the point that she's fucking awesome. And, like, I think it's something to be an actor, and it's something to do, like, kind of the interpretive dance like that was, and it was cool. It was just really cool, and I thought it was different that, like, it was finally, like, God, it's something different in this show. Like, I'm watching people stand up and sing ballads all night, and this is still a power ballad, but it's, like, an actual work of art, and going back to our art thought, and it was just so much better than everything else that was going on that night.
Did you see, speaking of an actor who does, like, interpretive dance, did you see Elastic Heart, the video?
Yeah, I saw, like, I sat down to watch it, and I think I got distracted, but I've seen most of it, so, I mean, I've seen that whole business. Are they dating? What's their deal?
No, I don't think so. I think Sia is definitely dating somebody else than Shia LaBeouf, who we're talking about, but not mentioning his name. Shia read that letter, but I think that was a letter. It seemed as if that letter was from her boyfriend to her.
Right, because it was signed somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, and he was reading it aloud. Yeah, I watched Elastic Heart, the video. I've seen it like maybe 4 times now, just because I'm like so interested in it. Which is weird. Not weird because it's like I like the song first of all, and the whole like Maddie Ziegler, I think her last name is, and Shia LaBeouf like running
Yeah.
around in a huge monkey cage acting like monkeys is like weirdly intriguing to me. I don't know why. Which is says a lot to see his kind of creative vision, but um, I don't know. I liked last night. I liked Sia's. I like Chandeliers. I think that's the only was the only threat to Sam Smith on the record of the year.
Mm.
Was Chandelier. Um, she's pretty incredible. I I'm very happy to see that there's somebody who was like on features with Flow Rider like back in like 2009 or whenever it was when they came out with that record and
What?
she what's that?
What song?
Wild Ones, right?
Oh, that was her. You're right.
Yeah.
I think of her as Bulletproof. That's where I think she made her actual mark.
Oh, really? I think of her as Titanium.
Oh, am I getting that wrong? Is it Titanium? Yeah, I'm getting that wrong. Or they're both. Am I saying? I don't know. But that song, that David Guetta song, is where I think that she became.
Titanium, yeah. Mm.
Uh, Also, if you notice in the performance, rewatch the performance. So she's in the corner the whole time.
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
Is she? But she's like moving a little bit. It's almost like, is she singing?
I don't know.
Or is that a voice track? Because she was, and at one point at the very end, Maddie like counts her out. So I think maybe she was singing. I don't know, because I think maybe that may have been like the requirement from the Grammys point of view. They're probably like, "Chick, you can do whatever you want, but like you got to sing your own song
Yeah.
live."
I know you tweeted this last night, and I tweeted back at you specifically when
Yeah.
you said, tell people what you tweeted.
I just wish Louis Stevens would be normal again. Like, God, I mean, Shy, I get it. Like, I just think you can't go from like this person for so long and then just totally decide that you're like going to take this hard left turn into a complete weirdo. Like, I get it. Uh, Jesus, he's just such a weirdo.
I'm so into the new Shy, it's not even funny.
That's
Like,
insane.
I'm, I don't know why. I just love that he's just kind of like, fuck this. Like, I've got enough money, I've got enough fame. Now I'm going to do this for the sake of the art, and in whatever capacity that is, like whatever that means to him, he's going to do. Like, he's going to be a part of these. I'm sure he watched Maddie Ziegler in Chandelier's video and was like, "That's phenomenal. I want to be a part of that," and then became a part of the whole Elastic Heart video. And his like weird one-man show thing where he claimed that he was raped by somebody who
Yeah,
came
that
to
was
be a part of it.
too.
That was weird, but like it's hard to explain, but like I can weirdly see like what he was trying to do with that whole exercise. What was born out of it, that weird rape thing, is not good. But I don't know. I think he's a normal person. Just like really values creative art and abstract art, and because you watch him on like late night interviews, he's still like the same old dude. He's not like whacked out or anything, or like Gary Busey-esque, or he's just the same guy. But he'll just do this stuff, and I'm wicked into it. I know people hate Shia, but I really like him as an
It's
actor.
not, it's not that I hate him per se.
No, I'm
I
not
just
saying
think,
you hate him either. I'm just
no, I know you don't. I know you don't. But I'm kind of representing the faction that does though. It's just like eh, he he's a little bit of a tryhard, so it's just a little bit annoying that like it
I
just
don't agree.
doesn't.
I don't agree. I don't think he's a tryhard.
He's such a tryhard. Well, how do you go from Sam Witwicky to like this shit? Like it's just like. I mean, I get your point that maybe the whole time it was his whole plan. He was just going to make a gajillion dollars and then say, screw it. Now I'm going to do what I want to do. So, I mean,
Islamic Wiki is the way, yeah, that he puts money in the bank, and also when he was that age, it was like, a dream of his to work with Steven Spielberg, who was a producer on Transformers, and then became a part of the new
but
Indiana
now he's
Jones.
just nailed it in, and now he's just going to do, like, stuff for the art. Like, I don't know. He was going to be such a good actor. It was so impressive that he became something other than Louis Stevens. That in itself was impressive. And now it's just...
Well, I mean, he's been putting out different things. Like he was part of that Nymphomaniac two-part movie series,
Fucking
which
weird.
I haven't seen, but I've been meaning to. It's just a long commitment. Um, and then another one that messing up. I can't think of the name. It's like Charlie something. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, it's gonna bother me that I can't remember. But I don't know. We don't have to talk about Shia LaBeouf anymore on the Grammy special. But um, let's.
Well, there's something else I want to talk about. I think, I guess we can talk about the fact that Sam didn't win Album of the Year. Or, no, actually, rephrase. I want to do a domestic violence thing for a hot second
Okay.
because, in relating to our sports law that I was reading sports writers talk about, hilarious that Barack Obama can get up on the Grammys and say that we should stop domestic violence, and Roger Goodell won't get interviewed for his own Super Bowl. Like, bro, figure it out. And, like, I didn't understand why the domestic violence thing needed to happen on this. Like, it always needs to happen. It's a terrible thing, all that. I mean, you got Chris Brown in the front row. So everyone was like, oh, my God, please show Rihanna right now and see what happens. Like, it's just, like, a little bit, I don't totally get it. And then Katy Perry goes up and sings By the Grace of God, which is, like, I actually hilariously just found out about that song, like, 2 days ago. And I think it's supposed to be about a breakup. So, like, I don't get... I think it's supposed to be about her breakup with Russell Brand, which is, like, real awkward. That, like, I hope there was no domestic violence sitting in there. And that woman who stood up and said she was a victim, the whole thing was just a little bit dark.
Who was that person? Like,
I don't know.
I went and checked it out. She has like 3,000 Twitter followers, so you know she's not like anything that we're supposed to know about. But yeah, I thought it was a hard left turn, obviously, and
It was like an interlude, honestly, and I was, this is so depressing.
yeah, I think that signaled where it dropped off. Like everybody's like, okay, we're done now. Like we're done watching or we're done caring about it. I think they lost a lot of interest when that happened, not because of the subject of what they were speaking to, just kind of like the overall tone and I don't know. It's supposed to be a celebration, not a lecture.
Right.
This whole award show. So obviously that is a very important topic of conversation lately in our country. What with the NFL nonsense. It's
Did you have a Greg Hardy today?
I did, yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It just seems like not the right place to be doing it. But sometimes when you have, millions and millions of people watching, that's when you take advantage. But it seemed a lot of place. I wasn't that into it, but I'm into the message. I'm into doing the right thing for that. But it seemed like a soapbox thing that sort of felt out of place. But do
you want to do Album of the Year? Or no, we haven't done 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, let's do 4 or 5 seconds. You go first. 4 or 5 seconds.
Okay, well, let's do Kanye, and then we'll transition to 4 or 5 seconds. Or do you want to do 4 or 5 seconds first?
I want to do Kanye last.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll do this, then we'll do Kanye, and then we'll be done because we're running long.
Okay.
I fucking love the song. I heard it the first time I heard it. I was like, yes, and I was like, I played it over and over and over again. I actually found an awesome remix to it that's now gone, so I have to go find it again. It's got like taken down, but it's cool. I think it's awesome, and obviously good for Paul McCartney that he's keeping it real and staying young and fresh. But no, I actually watched Kanye do an interview beforehand, and he was like, that song was supposed to be on my record, and she like wouldn't let me have it. She loved it so much. So
good.
He said he's executive producer on that album, which should be sweet.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. No, don't say that. You never know. You wait till it comes out, then blame him. If it's bad, blame him for it. Otherwise, it may not be that bad. He's better when he produces.
Maybe.
And if that's the track that's coming out of it, then maybe this should be interesting. Like, I love the track. I mean, obviously, what the hell is she wearing? But obviously, I get you. She can do no wrong. But and it's still, even in that like 3-man band, Kanye's still super annoying. So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so I won't opine on Kanye yet, but I like that track a lot. I'm into it. It sounds a little bit different, but it still sounds like it's in her lane and what she does, and doesn't seem like strangely out of place. I don't know I feel as if the like she could have written that record like without Paul McCartney or Kanye's influence. Maybe it's my gross Rihanna bias, but uh, yeah, I mean, I mean, Rihanna could just sing Happy Birthday up there, and I'd be stoked about it. But I don't know. Um, I didn't need that like suit jacket thing that she decided to go with. It kind of felt like too in the video she's wearing this like denim like Calvin
Right, it
Klein
feels like it's
esque
the 80s.
90s.
Like it's supposed to be like an 80s vibe to it. It's like I don't even know.
Yeah, so I felt like we were sticking with a theme by wearing that, but what she's wearing is not important to the viewers. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I think she's a vocal talent that's supersedes most everybody in the industry. Certainly Beyonce to me. Sorry, everybody who loves Beyonce, but she's nothing
You were
compared
not
to Rihanna.
impressed.
It's not even a conversation. Like, what are we even talking about? This is Rihanna juxtaposed against Beyonce, and we're not doing that right now. But
It's a
there's
conversation.
everything is like I saw like a YouTube video of like Rihanna's greatest hits. Like somebody just put it together, and it was like 15 of solid number ones
Yeah.
since like 2007, and she was like 7 years into her career, and she has at least 10 more to go. So it's out of control what she does. And 4 or 5 seconds is no no exclusion from that. She's great. Now I did not need Kanye up there like trying to put his little spin on it or
The
his
stupid
part.
hate thing he does, like I don't get it.
I don't know what it is. It's like a weird variation of Drake. His like whatever, but I'm not. He's like he has like one verse or something too, or like it doesn't have a lot of vocal influence on the song at
Singing,
all.
like what's with the singing thing he's doing right now? Like everyone's like, God, it's so terrible, and I was like, yeah, well, it's auto-tuned a little bit, but it's just like, which is what his singing always is, but
Yeah,
I don't like God. People always say it every time he does this stuff, and they're like, I cannot believe he is the same person who did College Dropout. Like they just
yeah,
can't comprehend it.
yeah. So all right, let's just finish on Kanye. So his performance of Only One, which is a good song. I like it. I like that it's all about his family and whatnot, and I like the whole message of it. But like we were talking about it before, and I tweeted it last night. When you're performing that song, stand still under one spotlight at a microphone on a stand and
Right,
sing
it
that
would have been
song
awesome.
seriously.
It would have been awesome. If
Yeah,
he had that little porthole and that whole thing's just standing and singing to his daughter, great. It would have been great.
yeah, it would have shook the room. But instead, we're doing this weird, like, stronger Jesus walks, uh, dancing around to it. What? Stop what you're doing. Stop. Relax. And sing the song because you're discrediting the song by making it all about this weird, like, up and down motion and, weird little try hard thing.
The bouncy business that he does. He just does a lot of bouncing.
Yeah. I know it's easy for us to criticize, but this is what the show is about, criticizing the Grammys. So sorry if you're not into this, but I don't know. I feel like that's a no-brainer. That song is about your little daughter. Just stand up there and sing it
Yeah,
right.
should have been easy.
It seemed weird. Um,
Speaking of weird, what does he do again but decides to make a statement at Album of the Year? Can't.
mhm.
It's just, I'm with him. That shouldn't have won it. I think I loved Beyonce's album, I loved Sam's album, and I loved Ed's album, so all three of those people should have won over him. But, the Grammys is the Grammys, so they want to throw some random thing in there, and then, hey, guess what? We're going to give you the win. And then he does that stupid stage thing. And did you see Jay-Z's reaction?
Yeah, hold on. So the Jay-Z reaction is the best because
He
let's
gets
see if
it.
I can bring it to you. Um, yeah, so obviously Jay-Z gets. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Jay-Z is like freaking out because he's seeing Kanye walk up there, and Jay-Z's like the horror of what's about to happen again. So he's like,
Mm.
no, 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 please don't do that. And then, he erupts into laughter when he realizes Kanye holds back and says, forget it. Originally, I thought it was like a Kanye thing, kind of acting like making fun of himself or showing like a little bit of humility or something. And but it ended up not being the case because we saw the interview that he did with the E After Party or whatever with Terrence J, and it sounded like he didn't mean it to be like that. He almost actually took that mic with real intent. Um, but yeah, I'm into Kanye's music. I'm into uh, a lot of his older stuff. Recently, not as much, admittedly. And this should be like I should be Kanye's biggest apologist because I'm a person who likes overconfidence, who likes big pageantry things sometimes, who is okay with a guy who knows he's like the best to do it and will let you know that. But the way he does it is so.
It's so in your face about it. He's so in your face about it. Like,
Yeah, and I like in your face. I'm not. I like that.
but to the
But
point where it takes over his work, and you don't want it to be. You don't want it to overshadow his work. His work is so quality that like you should just. If you believe in your work so much, let your work speak for itself. Like do all the things you need to do leading up to, afterwards, whatever. But don't do this bullshit about. No, you're just overkilling. It's just such overkill.
yeah, he seems delusional now too.
Oh,
Like
totally.
I knew that going in, but watching that interview that he did with Kim, Terrence J, Chloe was there too with a mic for whatever
Well,
reason.
Chloe was doing. So it's funny. I watched this. I watched it live, but I actually clicked off, so I missed when he said the whole thing about what his feelings are on the Grammys. But he was like, "We had to come over because Chloe's here," and he was like, "It was a long walk." Like you could tell, like he just hates this shit. And but whatever. But he talking about like he was saying that like the Kardashians own a minority stake in E and all this stuff. It was
I
just,
think they do.
oh, do they?
Yeah, I mean because Ryan Seacrest pretty much is the grand czar behind their whole success, and now I think there has been a transaction that they have some minority stake. That's true. But like I cannot, as somebody who takes art very seriously, music very seriously, creativity very seriously, I cannot, in good conscience, sit there and watch Khloe Kardashian thanking Kanye West for keeping creativity alive. Like she said to him a couple times to make sure he heard it. I thank you for making sure that creativity stays alive, or something like. Uh, what does she know about creativity? What does she know about creativity? She's on 4 different fucking reality shows where all you do is stick a camera in somebody's face and watch them shop. Like, I don't think she's done a creative thing in her life. Not from, picking what breakfast she's going to eat in the morning to figure out what side of the pillow she's going to sleep on at night. Like, she should not be speaking. And I don't even hate on the Kardashians. I respect the hustle. They're gangster at what they do. But, like, stay in your friggin' lane. I don't want to hear you talk about creativity at all. Like, it's insulting. And Kanye being like, when Kim does this like insufferable twirl or whatever to show us she's wearing, and Kanye's like, you've never seen more beauty in your life, like blah blah blah. Like I know you're supposed to be stoked about your wife and everything, but it seems as if like that guy is delusional.
Yeah, so it's like it feels staged, but you actually think it's probably not staged. You just think he's just outside of his gourd, and it's just like wow, that this is who he is and this is what he does. The fact that I compare them to Jay-Z, and like the fact that Jay-Z like associates with him at this point, I think is remarkable.
Out of control. I think he just does it out of obligation now. I feel like.
Yeah.
How do they like hang out?
I don't know. They could be more different people. I feel like. Like
Yeah.
Jay's so real, and they're really those two are just such real easygoing people that just they're good at what they do. I mean they're egomaniacs to a certain extent, but they have to be to have that kind of success. But
Yeah.
Jesus, like
What does Beyonce talk to Kim Kardashian about? What could they possibly talk about?
Yeah, I don't. And that dress was heinous. I know we're not gonna do fashion, but I'd love to do fashion. But like
Her Ric Flair Nature Boy dress.
heinous, and she was like, "Honey, saw it in a couture shop, so he just like overnighted it to me." Like, oh my god! And then your pocket broke. That was the part I did see in the interview. I was like, dude, what?
sucks. Tough to watch. Kanye West. Yeah.
Before very nice.
I won't be sad when he goes away, but I will be sad that his early work and everything is now lumped in with this crazy person, delusional mess.
Yeah.
Because it's just the art suffers and that sucks. But real quick, my favorite thing about the Grammys last night was watching Iggy Azalea take home nothing.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Nancy's when all you need to know about that is the majority of the population thought her voice was Charlie XIX whatever singing the fancy lyric and the fancy chorus. Wait, that's not her? No, it's not her. That's what's recognizable about that song. It's the chorus.
Yeah.
And songs or collabs with people who have great voices. So you suck.
Yeah, I don't think she deserved to be there. I think she's maybe has one more effort in her, and then that's probably it. That's probably enough. We won't see much more of success out of her, but I don't know. She definitely didn't deserve to be even in the same stratosphere as Sam Smith and Best New Artist.
No.
I don't know if that was like the Grammys trying to give hip hop like a nod, but she's not hip hop. She's like this hip hop thing that is a weird abnormality that shouldn't even be in existence. But I don't know. Not into Iggy. She can go away. Her and Swaggy P can ride off into the sunset of Hollywood Hills and talk about.
Takes the Lakers with him.
What?
As long as he tanks the Lakers with him.
Yeah, those two can take down the Lakers single-handedly. That'll be the best thing they've ever done for me in the world.
Yep.
Those days. Anyway, I don't want to drag this on any longer because we've definitely done an hour. Just trying not to do an hour, but
I know.
That happens. Anyway, you got anything to say before we depart?
I think I want a bigger year of music than we just had. I think we're gonna get one, and I think we need one. I think more hip hop realm. I mean, I think Drake should drop one this year. Drake and Kendrick should have one this year.
But it should be Views from the Six, right? But is that an album or is it a mixtape?
I think it's an album.
Okay. J. Cole will be in the mix because Forest Hills Drives is the best thing I've heard all year.
Yep.
Kendrick should be in the mix. Interesting move by all of TDE not to show up because Schoolboy Q was nominated for Oxymoron. Mm-hmm. But obviously they announced that prior to the show even airing, so there's no real reason for him to be there anyway. Mm-hmm. But who else is coming out? I'm gonna have to double check the list, but it should be good. It should be. I hope it's a strong year. I will say I do like that there was a lot of good new people to be exposed to this year. Not a lot of established talent coming through, but a lot of good, like Sam Smith, Hozier, I think of, Sia for some part. But I think we'll see more star power next year.
Yeah. I think Adele's supposed to have one this year too.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's supposed to 25 is supposed to come out this year. I think.
What about Gaga? She's probably doing something.
I don't know. Her and Tony Bennett can just go have their own life somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not into that. But when they said they have 22 Grammys in between the two of them, I was like, damn, that's a lot. Anyway, okay. So. This was Run the Jewels. We talked about the Grammys. We talked about Sam Smith taking down almost everything. Iggy Azalea striking out, and Kanye West is still kind of a prick. No surprise there. And hopefully next year I'll be watching Rihanna win everything. I can only hope. But
I can only hope.
I can only hope. Anyways, this has been Run the Jewels. Thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. If you like it, tell your friends. Follow me on Twitter if you care about that thing at all. If not,
sometimes.
Right. If not, you don't, and my life goes on. So, thanks for viewing. We'll be back soon. More sports shows with MVPs, more movie and TV related fun with Jay Cadden on Hey Lady, You Call Him Dr. Jones. We're going to do one tonight too. So, yeah, hopefully. So we'll get that done. Anyways, thanks guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.